You were answering.
I had all the best intentions of doing it last night when I got home, but I tell you, I was whooped.
I'm telling you what, that just being out there.
I know.
Guys work out.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You ready, Auditor, to go?
I am ready.
Is Sarah back there? We'll wait for her to get up here. Okay, good morning, everybody. Glad you could attend our meeting. Kick this off here like we normally do for our regular scheduled commissioners meeting. Just to let everybody know, the meeting's being recorded and streamed for public viewing. By participating, you acknowledge that your image, voice, and comments may be captured and made publicly available. This meeting is being broadcast live and may be available for future viewing. As you know, we've started a tradition of getting up and doing the pledge, so if you're so inclined, please come up and join us. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if I can get a motion to approve the minutes for our June 3rd meeting.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for our June 3rd, 2025 regular commissioners meeting.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the meeting minutes as presented for our June 3rd, 2025 meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. First item up on our agenda is an update from our county highway engineer.
Good morning. First item I have a acceptance on Bridge 62. The bridge is complete. We've closed out everything. We actually got some money returned to us. The auditor had a nice catch. Well, you didn't catch it, but you gave me the idea to catch it, so I'm giving you credit. So I think we peeled back between a few projects about $163,000 for us, so I'm sure we'll find some place to spend it. But we need to accept that project. Project B, the project number is B.
Right there.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve contract number B-41053. It is report of contract final inspection and recommendation for acceptance for bridge number, what was it? 62 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve contract number B41053. It's an NDOT report of contract final inspection for Bridge 62 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Next item I have is a contract with United Consulting for our county-wide bridge inspection. This is a 4-year contract. This is reimbursed at 80% from the state. So we got that grant for that as well, because why pay full price? The total contract is for $404,000. Standard NDOT rate. This is 80% reimbursed.
Okay.
So you can tell us 100 a year. So for that
There's
DES number, not to exceed.
All right. Make a motion to approve the LPA consulting contract for county bridge inspections, DES number 2300118, an amount not to exceed $404,978.42 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the LPA consulting contract for county bridge inspections between Hancock County and United Consulting for DES number 2300118 in an amount not to exceed $404,978.42 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
You guys can't see that. Do you have one of these so you can really see what's going on? FYI, New Palestine will have a festival between the 27th and the 30th of June. Newspaper, you'd probably be interested in that. Mr. Hartley is getting all that set up with the New Pal group. They'll have a detour that'll be set up. It might be something that you'd want to get with Mr. Hartley to get that detour into the newspaper. So they're working with the county to detour on some county roads as we typically done in the past. Surplus. I have 3 items listed for surplus on the sheet in front of you. A Trail Boss trailer, a context plotter, and an HP 1055 MC Plus plotter. They've been sitting around the highway for a long time, and they've gathered a lot of dust. We're trying to move some of these things on to clear up some space. So I'm asking for the commissioners to declare those 3 items surplus.
Okay. I make a motion that we surplus or allow the highway department to surplus a Trail Boss 1996. Last 4 of the VIN, it was 8030, and as presented.
We can
Do all 3 if you like.
all 3 at
And
once.
context plotter, model MD52A, serial number, last 4, the number is 006Y, and an HP 1055 MC Plus plotter, model C6075B, last 4 of the serial would be 3119, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we allow our county highway engineer to declare surplus these items. A Trail Boss, a 1996 Trail Boss, the last 4 of the VIN is 8030. A context plotter, model MD52A, serial number MD52A97006Y, and an HP 1055 MC Plus plotter, model C6075B, with the last 4 of its serial number being 3199 as presented, or 3119 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
As mentioned last meeting, we have the coroner's going to move out temporarily for, I guess, in the highway department, so we're cutting some more keys out there. It's a good opportunity because I realize my key control is a hot mess, so we're fixing that as we speak as well. You need a good crisis to realize that you're doing something wrong, so we're getting that fixed at the same time. New Pal Bridge 120 is complete. That's the bridge in New Pal. I'm satisfied with it. Everybody's happy that's open. New Pal,
Nice to come back home to have that bridge open. Whoever worked on it did a great job. They replaced some decking up there as well.
E&B Paving did that. Mr. Hartley, my bridge tech, worked on it as well. I'm very satisfied with how it went. Even CSX helped us out at the end, so that's nice. It rides a little smoother. I believe New Pal is making a motion this evening to limit the weight on that road to 10 tons, so hopefully it will help with the use of commercial vehicles. It is a wood bridge, though it is designed to handle a standard highway load. It's wood. I have faith in steel. We say that's our religion in civil engineering, but the wood didn't make the list. So they're gonna put a weight limit on it. As I mentioned earlier, whenever there's a SBOA audit, we do an internal audit as well. A couple nice tips from the auditor's office. We were able to zero in on $168K for refunds. That should be coming to the auditor's office when Mary sees that. Just a reminder what that is, because that's not under any that's coming out of existing contracts, not new contracts. So they'll be a little confusing for when that hits. I believe Miriam later we talking about impact fee ordinances. So.
No, we've decided to kind of hold that.
Hold on that, okay. Then we'll be holding on that. Gov deal sales are complete. I believe it is up to, it was $23,000 over what we're going to get trade in for. We know we buy vehicles and stuff every year. So the Gov deal's been a fairly successful project. I mean, it's been a net positive to the taxpayer. So to have those competitively bid. So I think we were at $30,000 and now we're going to make about $53,000 instead. When that comes in. So that'll be another $53,000 oddball check coming in, Deborah. 600 West is underway. They're on schedule to get that open by the start of school. That's still moving right along. Hopefully this rain this week doesn't throw too much of a wrench in it, but I think we'll be okay. 300 North at Fortville Pike this summer. I was talking to Glenn about that. I think they're deconflicting. State Road 9 has a closure as well. And I believe Greenfield had a hiccup on the project, so they're not going to happen simultaneously, obviously. So from the news, you probably want to get with Glenn Morrow, the city engineer. That is their project, so it's more of a courtesy of me letting them know. And obviously, State Road 9 is a state road, so it's NDOT. Pennsy Trail from 3 West to 4 West is underway. All the base is down, so you can go walk on it right now. We're going to go back and pave it. We're going to add some a special surprise to it too, some special glow-in-the-dark stones. So we'll see how those look and see what witchcraft we're accused of when people go out there and take a look at it.
Witchcraft.
We still have the RFPs out, 2 PE and 2 CE. You know, they're probably going to be disappointed. They're probably not going to glow at all, but we're going to give them a shot. It is the 17th, and I pray that we get to the 26th without a fatal accident on County Road. And then we'll call it a good day. We'll do a little extra mowing at the Highway Department or something. You probably got a meeting, Bill, about Jack and Sons. I'm kind of a mediator between the city and Jack and Sons and trying to figure out a way that we can get that purchased. Obviously, they've been a business interest downtown for a while, but it'd be nice to transition that to a more downtown type business at some point. Greenfield's been very nervous about that property. You know me, I'm a little more high adventure, a little more risky. But you know, the taxpayer wants us to get things the way they want. They want a nice downtown. The whole of county can use it. So
Is that be county property or city property?
it will be city property. Well, we're discussing all that. We're figuring all that out. What it'll probably look like is this. There is a bridge over that trail. And we can repair that bridge and fix 2 problems. We can fix a baseline flood elevation that's going to stymie development for a great deal of property owners within Greenfield. And we can also get rid of a recycling yard or a junkyard, if you'll call it that, that will, you know, obviously have some environmental impacts that we don't want right in our downtown. And then that would also say if we, the residents here ever decide they want to move or something, it would put the city in a position where they could purchase those up. And now all of a sudden they can develop this into restaurants or other things that might be a little more use for the entirety of the public right in downtown Greenfield. They've done a good job with Depot Park. I think this looks nice. It's Hancock County. They make fun of us out here, but I think we're doing a good job. I think the citizens are great, and there's a lot of stuff to use. And
So it's going to help relieve or end totally the base flood elevation issue we have right now that's created the floodplain where we are trying to do things. It's going to impact
Could.
us. And
I don't see how it wouldn't, but until the math is done, you know me. I hate to ever say anything for certainty, but yeah, if we make a larger opening of that, it begs to differ that the baseline flood elevation would reduce. So that's government doing government stuff. That's coordinating with us and a bunch of other people. So that'll be a state, city, and county type project.
I was sitting talking to the mayor yesterday, and he said that you've been trying to get a hold of him, or?
I've been speaking with Jack and his son, Jamie.
All right.
They're nice gentlemen. But I do want to, I am not elected. So I'm just trying to facilitate, get the conversation structured up before we have the people actually in charge.
Okay.
We'll be adding a no passing lane in Mohawk once we do our next striping. So next time we have a striping go through there, I'm not sure when that is, but it's all been marked to be no passing at that point.
Thank you.
I don't have a huge amount of accidents there right now, so I'm not panicked about it, but we'll get that switched up as soon as it comes. Amplify, I believe we've resolved the drainage issue.
And Lance Schnedeker is here today. He's going to speak at the end of our meeting to kind of share a little bit more about what's going on with Amplify, just an Amplify update.
Okay. And I believe we have got to the bottom. We had a little bit of a scare at the 9-star situation. I believe we've got that poked through all the numbers and got that into a reasonable type situation as well. If you look on the back, you'll see. If I can move this, everybody else can see it too. So we were doing some work. We usually do this in the winter, but we took note. We had some accident increases at 4 West, 5 North, and 2 West, 5 North. And it's got to a point where Ms. Scheidler and myself are uncomfortable. And so we did 2 stop warrants there, and they are warranted. So at some point, once we get the federal approvals and all the stuff done, and our utilities marked and everything, those will be converting to 4-way stops. Subsequently, we'll be applying for, they're too expensive for us to do with local funds, so we'll be applying for state assistance to get those converted to roundabout intersections, probably within 5 or 6 years. But at the near term, we'll get them switched to four-way stops. So FYI, that will be within the next few weeks. Mr. Binky and I are working on other current projects. We got 3 lettings this December. I think we're closing in on getting those done, but we're obviously, Scott and I are very nervous about the right of way, so we'll figure out, we'll hustle. I think we got everything set up. We just need to get the appraisers out there, so we probably need to figure out who they are and give them a call.
I sent you an update yesterday.
I haven't had a chance to read it, but has anyone contacted the appraisers yet?
No, but if you look at my update, you'll see kind of where we're at, so that may not be necessary because the judge ordered him to get the report in 60 days, so.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Maybe I'll have Miriam or somebody. Miriam's a real good people person. Maybe she'll give him a call. And
Yeah.
it's better when I
check
call.
email.
I sound
If
scary.
you have any questions, just let's talk about it.
Okay. Barney, any questions? Thanks for letting me work in Hancock County.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Do you need this title back too, Gary?
I will.
So just in case, I usually sign it the way it's set up, so I signed it as the Hancock County Highway Department so that the well, I mean, building surplus, sure.
Did the other two?
They did not. No,
Okay, I didn't. I don't ever want to run the copy while you're talking.
I'll go over to the surveyor's office and do it.
Corey Taylor, come on up. Morning.
Good morning. First thing I've got for you is the remodel work that's happening at the Purdue Extension. When they were going through the remodel process, opened the walls up, they found some mold. So I've got a invoice from Will Power for remediation of that mold. I'm not sure where that project was paid for. I believe they came to you guys and asked for the remodel stuff to happen. So I'm not really sure where that was decided. I didn't know if this invoice could be paid from the, I'm assuming, same bond.
Paid it
So
on,
is it, I'm sorry, willpower, the 4,000?
Correct.
I've got it marked, building
that would work as well. I
$1,318.
I just have concerns going forward with that. A lot of the things that have come up through the prosecutor's office and the jail are going to make that tight, very
okay.
tight.
Well,
So
we'll
just so you're
we'll
aware.
go ahead and pay it out of the building maintenance fund.
Okay.
So one of you like to just make a motion to pay this willpower change order?
I make a motion that we approve the Willpower change order 24-88-9 dated June 3rd, 2025, not to exceed in the amount of $4,318.49 for mold remediation in the kitchen and adjoining utility room at the Purdue Extension Office.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the change order from Willpower Construction, the change order 24-88-9 from June 3rd, an amount not to exceed $4,318.49 for work remediation, mold remediation at the Hancock County Purdue Extension Office to be paid out of our building maintenance fund. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Next item I've got for you is, I asked for a final cost on the side-by-side. They did not include labor on the last price I gave you. So it was additional $490, bringing it to $40,452.34.
But that was still lower than the total quote
That was $3,800 cheaper than the
right,
original
Yeah.
quote.
right.
But that original quote, wasn't that like 43,000 or
42 something.
42,000?
It was.
Something like that.
I think the problem that we had is for the original amount, and then back and we did a motion for the amount that's
Corrected amount.
the corrected amount, but we don't have this 490 covered.
And we need to add the labor, so
490.
Isn't that how that went, Corey?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
can we make an amended motion then to just add the labor to our last motion, or?
Or can we just make a new motion with the 490,000, or $490, I'm sorry.
Corey, we've already paid for itself, correct?
We have not.
We haven't. Okay, so let's just do the total. And is that 40,462.34? Is that the correct number?
It is. I believe I said 452, but it is 462.34. I apologize.
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of a side-by-side, quote ID number would be 328-92144, and the amount of $40,462.34.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the revised purchase agreement, quote number 32. Off
Yeah.
that number?
Yep.
Okay, the 32892-144, with the amount of $40,462.34 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
And next thing I've got is just an update. The equipment for the fountains is set to be in at the end of this month, beginning of next. They'll get moving on that as soon as that stuff gets here. The courthouse, the tuck pointing, those guys should be out sometime this week and next week to start mobilizing and getting that work going. The prosecutor's office is moving along pretty well. They've got interior walls up inside there now.
No complaints from anybody over in offices as far as needs that you're hearing?
No, sir. The contractor, GC, brought some air scrubbers out and stuff to make sure they're.
What about the roof?
I did hear back. That is a warranty claim. They've reached out to the contractor, so I'm just waiting to hear from the contractor.
They've acknowledged this at this point.
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay.
He didn't, I think he sent us an email
Yeah.
too acknowledging that it was a warranty claim.
Yep. That's all I've got, unless you guys have any questions.
You, Corey?
Thank you,
Don't have
Corey.
Anything else? Thanks, Corey. Chief Klein and Trustee Combs.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Jason's going to give you some data that we made. I'm coming to you this morning in reference to a project we started back in early 2023 that I've spoke to you folks about before. It's our ladder truck that we purchased and ordered and purchased. Apologize. We also visited the RDC on 11/24/2024 and presented the same data and our ask of $240,000. When I went in front of them, I presented run numbers for 2024 as a whole for the ladder and the rescue, which we sold to combine this new truck to. That data showed that we had done 643 runs out of those apparatus. Of those 643 runs, 214 of those were mutual or automatic aid in the county. That would represent 30% of the runs that truck makes. And just to be fair, only 3% of that 30% were out of county runs, so that was very minimal. But our ask to the RDC was for $240,000. That would be 30% of the amount that we leveraged debt on for that truck, which was $800,000 that we borrowed. We had saved $800,000 up front to purchase that truck. So on page 15 is where that data starts, if you folks want to look at that or have any questions.
15 through 23.
Yeah, page 15 through 23. Our ask today would be that you guys support us in going in front of the council to ask for that $240,000 and wherever they can find that monies
What did the RDC tell you? Did they have?
to come to you.
They, but did they have,
Did they have the money? Or you didn't get a straight answer?
In a roundabout way, there was money there, but
Gary Poole, don't leave yet.
yeah, in roundabout money, there was money there, but they knew they had multiple other projects, and so they advised us to come to you, to come to the council, and to make our ask multiple times. And so I'm resilient. Here I am.
Is there any, Mr. Poole, is there any potential funding left in what we have in our RDC budget for public safety, fire EMS? I mean, I know we give a certain amount to Buck Creek Township, that was just earmarked to them, but is there another line in there that?
Let me go get my computer and I'll answer that question in a couple seconds.
That gives you time to look at data and throw 9,000 questions at me. I'm ready.
Now, do you have this fire truck already?
Yes, it's in service. It's working well. It's been in multiple trainings with other county departments. Seems to be working great.
It came in much faster than what it was.
Mm-hmm.
We had to hurry up and do this at the end of the year.
You do a lot of runs into Indianapolis, don't you? 100 runs?
More so EMS, but yes.
Deborah, do you know what the EDA stuff was? I don't have the EDA accounted for in this.
The EDA,
EDA collections.
that was 166,000 so far.
Originally, when we had started talking about this, the RDC had advised us that they like capital projects, so that's kind of the way that we've based this, as a capital outlay project. So
I don't, at least in my opinion, I don't think any of us would be opposed to helping at all. It's just where the money's coming from.
And that it's there.
yeah,
And I think the EDA we set aside for public safety use.
That's that collecting funds as of today.
We received
currently.
our first EDA payments this year. Like I said, we received one from GDI and we have not received.
That was 90,000, or was that
We
from
received
GDI?
166,700 and some.
Okay. So currently, our risk sheet, our main risk is in 2031, where you like me to keep that over 90% certainty that we won't overrun the bond. That's when we're saving up that $20 million for the interchange. We do have public safety programmed in. I did put a miscellaneous public safety I see highlighted here. I'm trying to get that in there. I'm trying to think about you guys. But that's not programmed until 2028 and on. However, EDA is not accounted for that. The money Deborah just spoke for that. None of that is accounted for in here. So that is unallocated, uncommitted money at this point.
How much did you say that was?
Deborah said.
It was 166,000.
700 and I think
And it should
$28.
slightly, depending on what happens, it should slightly increase each year.
Will that be, with those collections, any other collections by the end of this year?
Yes, there to. That from January. It's also based off of the tax. So, yeah, we'll have another collection. Have some question now that you do. The way they are now, we should receive another 100,000 from them, and then I'm not. And then next year we'll start receiving some more.
We do have a exposure. INDOT, Senate One's had a reduction in their funding. I think we're gonna be okay, but the prices, with all the excitement in the world for the construction on segment F, that's between 600 West and 700 West on 300 North. Right now, that is $2 million in the red compared to what we planned it to be. Pretty big project, so it's impacted pretty heavily by this. And we do not have grant matching for that. I am working on that, but I'm not going to find out about that until December. Risk there. I have a contingency plan for that, which you'll see in the meeting. I think I can cover it, but we're going to be covered out of Cume Bridge. Cume Bridge loan to cover that expense, and so there will be that will jack up our cash flows a little bit too. So, from what that means, from our property tax collections from the increment out in the TIF collection districts, there's not a lot of room there. There might be if Ms. Scheiden and I are successful in getting those $2 million are added, and obviously Mr. Lawson helped us with that too. Then that'll free up some room, but we won't know that till December.
But we could safely potentially give 150,000 right now, according to what.
Yeah, I don't think it's allocated anywhere, so we'll have to make an allocation with the, I don't know how that's dispersed. I assume we'll have to make a budget appropriation somewhere.
Definitely has to be appropriate. It's not been appropriated.
So it's completely just sitting cash in bank account now. So it'll be a couple of months where we could do that. That's something that the commissioners want to do. We can talk to the RDC and talk to the council, get it appropriated and get it dispersed.
How do the commissioners?
I feel,
Yeah.
That's Fund 4908. That is an RDC fund. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is. I believe it is going into an RDC. But I'm not sure how the agreement. This is the first one, so I'm not sure how the agreement looks. Similar to like the HRH bond and stuff like that. Some of them are through trustees. I'm not sure if that's been sent to a fund that's controlled by the RDC or not. I don't know.
I just went ahead and sent basically establishing that fund. It doesn't really talk about.
I'll let Scott look at that ordinance to see who has the dispersal authority on it.
Yeah, I just got, it was basically the lead sheet for it that established
Establishing the fund.
the payment, right? Well, I mean, I think between the commissioners, there's probably not a problem allowing that 150,000 is
I'd be on for it.
to go right now. I don't know what the money looks like. We'd have to wait for more to come in the end, and you come back and ask potentially for the remainder of it.
There's also the payment is easier. There is a that Lisa Lee would have to look at. Use an actual TIF collection. Lisa Lee would have to make sure that it would be okay outside the township.
So if they can show, again, they're aiding the TIF, which I think they are, then we can get that presented to the legal counsel and they can give their blessing on it. So with all of those things that we would say and ask for that money to be appropriated, then we could say the commissioners would like to give 150,000 right at this time to your request on your fire apparatus.
Okay, thank you. I just want to say, I want to make sure that this doesn't hurt any other department in our ask. Obviously, that's not our intent. We're just, it is a county asset, the truck itself, but I want to make sure that the other departments are taken care of also so that we don't do any harm to them.
I don't think right now you're going to. The EDA was set up just for that, to aid public safety. It just wasn't specific.
Okay.
It's not county or city or town specific. So as those monies roll in and we're able to help local public safety agencies, I think that's our goal to do that.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And gentlemen, keep in mind, you have a program. It is program 2028.
Right, so in the future,
Sure.
yeah, 3 years down the road, we'll have a process through the RDC that you can come and let's say like a grant type application and ask for those kind of monies.
Okay, so moving forward, what do we need to do? Do we need to get with Deborah or?
We will probably make a motion here this morning that says we're in approval of this. And then we would ask that the council appropriate the money from the EDA fund to the Sugar Creek Township Fire Department pending redevelopment commission legal that request as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
You.
So if I can get that motion.
I make a motion that we approve move forward with the $150,000 from the EDA agreement for Sugar Creek Township emergency fire apparatus equipment.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the request from the Sugar Creek Township Fire Department for funds for their fire apparatus in an amount not to exceed, at this time, $150,000 from our EDA funds, and a request that the council would appropriate those funds along with legal review from our RDC attorney to make sure that that is proper use of that. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. You may. Thank you. Thank you for standing by. Appreciate it. Is Katie Dennis here? Come on up.
I don't think I've met some of you guys yet. I am Caitlin Dennis, where I go by Kate. I work for the Hancock County Health Department. Okay. I'm here to get some MOUs signed from that I work with schools to sign. So I don't know if you guys know about pods, so I got a little update.
Scott, do you have one of these? Sarah, can I get a copy of this MOU made for Scott to take a look at too? Just to.
The MOU.
Uh-huh.
He has one of those.
Is it in my
He
packet?
doesn't have one of those.
Oh, you don't have a copy?
I can give you a copy because I brought some, if you need me to. Okay. And then, so I actually have two now for you to sign. One is for New Palestine, which you have, and the other one is for Eastern Hancock. They're the exact same MOUs. They just need to be signed because they're two different schools. And so I'll just go ahead and give you an overview of what a pod is. A pod is a point of distribution site that gives out medical countermeasures, which is like vaccines or medications, to the public during a public health emergency. So basically, the goal of a pod is to prevent illness. It's where healthy individuals go where they've been exposed. So the best example I can give is COVID, because everyone knows COVID. It'd be more like the shot clinics where the public is exposed, so they want to prevent themselves from getting sick. So they come and get the shot. And there are multiple questions I'll ask before starting a pod, and some of them are basically, will this overwhelm the medical personnel? And can the health department step up and help alleviate some of that pressure off of them where they can deal with the sick individuals and we can help the healthy population instead of them coming into the doctor's office saying, I need, shots, all the COVID shot and stuff like that. They can just deal with those who are sick with COVID and we can take with the people who need shots. So there any other questions?
So the site's not forcing, people can come in of their own free will, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But you don't treat the sick or infirmed?
No.
Not replacing emergency room, urgent care, trauma, doctor's office, shelter, or consultation service?
Yes, we are not for treating sick individuals. They go to their doctors or the hospitals or wherever they need to go.
And there's no mandate of any type.
No, it's just come in.
Where it says healthy individuals come in to receive medication, what kinds of medication?
So that really depends on what's going on. So another big example is anthrax. So if anthrax was going around in our exposed population would be the government employees. So if they're either been exposed or we think they've been exposed but they're not showing any symptoms, they can come in and get medication. Mm-hmm.
And the MOU just designates schools as the places for people to do this.
Yes, they're just designated sites already that we have. All the other counties have them as well.
And how do you put the word out to families that are in Eastern Hancock or New Palestine?
So we would do either, because for the health department, we own a radio station, so we could put it out through the radio, or we can also do social media and like just advising the public the normal way, like, hey, and most of the time during this, it would be an emergency. Most people would know that this would be opening just because like they went through COVID. So they would just be looking for when that is opening. And the goal is to have multiple locations so we can reach all kinds of the county. So they don't all have to go to one place.
Okay. We'll let our county council, legal council take a look at the MOU and make sure it's a,
Okay.
Which I'm doing. Yeah, I might be able to get
so
that.
we might get it at the
completed.
end of the meeting.
Yep, that's fine with me. I'll just wait.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You looked in a while ago.
Brian Robinson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm actually Dennis Olmsted. I'm pinch hitting for Brian this morning.
Okay,
I guess I'm here for acceptance of sections 1, 2, and 3 of Mohawk Trails
some
plats.
right of way that you're gonna give us, is that it, or
Right,
do you have one of the,
I do.
those plans? Oh, you brought your special pen too, that's good.
It's not his first rodeo.
Copies if you have to review.
Okay,
But the right of way,
how much, well, I'm not sure that we've taken all of this at the same time,
Yeah,
more than just like a simple right of way off the,
yeah, this
Off
is a
the
lot to
road
take in at
frontage.
one time. Would any of this go through the plan department?
I don't know.
But I-
Can,
Has it been to
county planning will also have to sign off on it.
can we
County
get,
planning?
can we get the planning
Yeah,
to look at it before you request that we sign off on it? Because,
It's done been through the approval process.
Through the
It
Plan
had-
Commission?
it has?
Yes.
When did that happen? Because I don't remember seeing this through the plan department.
I mean,
Let me
normally,
get hold of Kate.
yeah, normally when somebody comes up here to give us right of way, they've got one Mylar, one paper plan, and a right of way. I don't think we've seen anything where right of way has been given up through a whole subdivision. Don't really know what to do with this.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm calling Kayla now. Hey, Kayla, are you in the building? Can you step into the commissioner's court, please? All right, thank you. No, we've got it in here. All right, thank you, bye. You'll be right in.
Yeah, the 2024, so it's been a while.
First section.
Mm-hmm.
And such a demand, they decided to go ahead and do all three. But there's been a delay from original approvals because it took us a little bit of time to get this.
Here she comes.
Go back and get an
I don't remember this, so I need to rely on you. Mohawk Trails,
Yes.
all sections have been approved, or? That's what I was wondering, because I mean, I don't remember getting anything like this.
Okay.
Is in 2024.
We've been reviewing secondary class. Go back and check real quick.
Please.
Okay, I'll be right back.
So if you want to sit tight, we will get this figured out before you take
Okay.
off here.
Yes.
I'll leave that with you.
Okay.
A lot.
John?
Let's do the
Action on-
claims, yeah.
I make a motion, we approve the claims and payroll.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve claims and payroll as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Auditor business.
Not a whole lot. I do have a couple.
You need a motion on it? Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right.
And then disbursement for Amplify. See, you all need to sign.
Has motion been done on this one?
You don't want to make them.
That's what I thought, okay. Make a motion that we pay a disbursement for construction, request number 8. And that is Hancock County Redevelopment Authority to, no, Matt, hang on.
Summary page with the amount.
Okay, that's,
Sorry.
okay. Request number 8 for Amplify, Project Amplify, and not to exceed, one for Veritas and one for Ratio. Veritas is $15,656.87, and Ratio is $29,053.02 for a total not to exceed $44,709.89 as presented.
Second.
So I'll take the one that needs the signature there.
Okay.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the affidavit for construction fund disbursement. This is request number 8 for the Amplify Hancock project. With 2 invoices to be paid. The first would be for Veritas in an amount not to exceed $15,656.87. And the second from Ratio in an amount not to exceed $29,053.02. That total amount would not exceed $44,709.89 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
I have is, has to do with 2 invoices from CDW, that you pre-approved. That we could pay that, but if it went over what you approved, Bernie said that he would pay that out of his budget. And then we've got a number of $799, so there was a overage. I don't know if you motion to allow him to go ahead and pay that 800 out of his budget or not,
Okay.
but brought that to me, so I thought, we'll let you decide what you want to do.
We'll
on it.
just go ahead and make a
Yeah,
motion
let's do
to pay that out of the IT budget.
Explain that all right?
And
Explain that.
is that a program or a yearly deal? Here we go. Oh, it's for the cameras that they've been installing.
Yeah,
And we've already approved this, and we need a motion for $800.
just to make, yeah, so he can pay out of his own budget.
Make a motion that we allow Mr. Harris to pay from his IT budget, $800, in which was an overage for the cameras and electronic equipment that we've been having him to hook up across the county.
Okay. Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the
$800.
invoice request in an amount not to exceed $800. For Bernie Harris in the IT section, it was an overage for cameras and other miscellaneous IT equipment that needed to be paid for as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. So we don't need to sign off on that anywhere.
No, this is emotional support for
All
us.
right.
Thank you
Great.
so much.
Thank you.
This is okay. It's a 5-year term.
Okay.
I think it's.
Okay, gotcha. Do you
Is
want
that it?
to
Is that it?
That's all I
Okay.
have unless there's anything.
make a motion just to approve?
Make a motion to approve
MOU.
the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding for the Health Department
New Pal.
between Hancock County Health Department and New Palestine Community Schools as presented.
And Eastern Hancock?
Yes.
And it's okay, because this just says,
The Eastern, but.
okay,
Okay.
okay, and Hancock County, Eastern Hancock Schools.
Okay, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the MOU from the Hancock County Health Department between our health department and New Palestine Community Schools, as well as Eastern Hancock Community Schools. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Yes, Kayla's here.
Regarding Mohawk Trails, we
Yeah.
do have all of the secondary plats. They have been reviewed in our office. This one dates back a little bit to like September of '23. And in the meantime, they have constructed all of the roads and the stormwater, common areas, things like that. So now they're preparing to record the plat in order to build homes. After, this is the point at which you're signing off on the dedication of that right-of-way. And then after this, all of the routing sheet will have to be signed off on by all the department heads, assuring that each department has done its series of checks and balances where it needs to before the plat then goes to be recorded upstairs. So,
Okay.
yep.
And there's a lot here to sign. Can we wait till the end of the meeting to do that and let us take care of our other business? Thank you. Thank you, Kayla.
There we go, you're welcome. Mhm.
Any additional auditor business?
No.
Good. Okay. I want to do is just the ratify the Buckeye construction change
We
order.
can do that. I make a motion that we approve the change order for Buckeye Construction, document number G701-2017, with a total deduction order of $189,686. Change order number 1.
Second.
Thank you.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the change order contract with Buckeye Construction, change order document G701-2017, in an amount of $189,686 as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion passes.
We've got the proclamation.
Proclamation.
Make a motion that we approve the proclamation between, you want to read that or? Sure. Okay, go ahead.
So we have done this the last several years while I've been here, and it's a proclamation for amateur radio operators in Hancock County, and their proclamation reads as such. It says, June 17th, 2025, whereas the County of Hancock has licensed amateur radio operators who have demonstrated their value in public assistance by providing emergency radio communications, and whereas these amateur radio operators donate these services free of charge to the county in the interest of the citizens of the county as well as the world, And whereas these amateur radio operators are on alert for any emergency, local or worldwide, and practice their communication skills during the American Radio Relay League's Field Day and exercise. Whereas this year's Amateur Radio Field Day will take place June 28th through June 29th, 2025. As now, therefore, we, Bill Spalding, Gary McDaniel, and Janine Gray, County Commissioners of the County of Hancock, hereby declare the week of June 23rd through 29th, 2025 as Amateur Radio Week. In recognition of this important emergency preparedness exercise, we call upon all citizens to pay appropriate tribute to the amateur radio operators of Hancock County.
Make a motion to approve that?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. We approve the County Commissioner's proclamation for amateur radio operators as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the bond deposit for Prairie Point Enterprises LLC. And the project is boulders at Sugar Creek, Section 2. It's storm drainage maintenance in the amount of $15,000. And in receipt number is 053019.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. We accept the cash bond. Oh, release it? Oh, they are released.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
I realize,
We approve the release of the cash bond for Prairie Point Estate or Enterprises LLC in an amount of $15,000 for the boulders at Sugar Creek, Section 2, storm drainage maintenance. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Aye, motion passes.
And I'll make a motion to release bond number 100348491 in the amount of $27,650 for J Boulders, JIA Boulders?
Like JIY boulders?
Yeah, JIY, okay. And for Boulders Phase 2, Section 1, common area seeding, erosion, and landscaping in the amount not to exceed $27,650.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we release the performance bond for JIY Builders LLC in the amount of $27,650 for Boulders Phase 2, Section 1, for the common area, seeding, erosion,
Blanket, I think that's.
blanket, erosion blanket and landscaping. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
That one? I signed number 1.
All right.
Didn't know. Make a motion to release, are these release? All of them, okay, okay. Vote to approve the release of the bond for JH Boulders LLC in the amount of $1,312.50. Bond number 100348489 for Boulders Phase 2, Section 1, and for monuments.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the release of the performance bond for JH Boulders LLC in an amount of $1,312.50 for Boulders Phase 2, Section 1, monuments. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
And I'll make a motion to approve the bond release for Deploycom LLC in the amount of $25,000. And I've also got one, okay, it's a different one, okay. Bond CUDIS number is US 3002477 for $25,000.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the bond release for Deploycom LLC in the amount of $25,000 for 25 miles across Hancock County. They've laid 75-mile fiber optics underground build for the new Lisbon Broadband Company. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
And the last one, make a motion, we approve the bond release for Clayton Properties Group Incorporated, doing business as Arbor Investments, for Heron Creek, Section 3.4, curbs, asphalt base, and binder for the amount of $114,000, $114,535.99. QITS number 70NGP200036.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the bond release for Clayton Properties Group, Inc., doing business as Arbor Investments, of their maintenance bond in the amount of $114,000 or $114,535.99 for Heron Creek, Section 3.4, curbs, asphalt base, and binder. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Eastern Hancock.
Oh, okay, but we've already approved it, so.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we did.
Here you go. That's the Eastern Hancock.
Okay, caught up there. Yeah, that was just a single letter that we had to sign.
Oh, okay, is it already done?
It's already completed.
Okay. You want,
You ready to move ahead?
go for it, yes, please.
John Milburn, come on down. Is your other,
Party's here yet.
okay, we'll wait.
9:30.
Okay.
Is that it?
Kelly Ellert with HR.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Last week, I sent you a proposal from Employee Benefits Corporation to take over our COBRA administration. Our current vendor is no longer going to be servicing COBRA-only clients. I received the service agreement this morning. So pending legal review, I would like to have a motion to, or would like to request the change of COBRA vendors to Employee Benefits Corporation effective July 1st.
I haven't
Do we
seen,
have a copy of the service agreement?
I have it, I just got it this morning, so I have it for Scott to look at.
Okay, so we can make a motion to
pending
on
legal.
your legal.
For approval.
And then I'll have it for you to
Do you
sign.
have a copy of that right now? Just to
Yes, yes.
take a
I-
read off the top of it for a motion?
Sure.
Is it this, Kelly?
Yes.
That one, go ahead, Janine.
It's right here.
Oh, well, all right.
Glad I'm here for you.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, that's the proposal.
And so the fees are
And
correct on here.
the fees are correct, yes.
I would make a motion that we accept the Employee Benefits Corporation proposal dated 6/10/2025 for our new COBRA provider effective July 1, 2025, with approval of our attorney.
Second.
It's Been moved and seconded. We accept the new COBRA benefits policy as presented by our HR director to be effective July 1 of 2025, pending county legal review. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
Is that all? My goodness.
Will you be here following? I just have a question for another county commissioner who's in another county, but potentially wanting to use the Apex benefits plan. So if you're around, I would like to speak with you later. Sure. Okay.
Okay. We'll go ahead and sign all these.
We will, but I want to
Okay.
get some folks who may be here. So instead of closing out our meeting, normally when we close, we ask for public comment. Since we have got a person we're going to wait, is there anybody in the audience who needs to make public comment or would like to make?
Mr. Going?
Mr. Going, come on down.
I think Maple wants to.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I made a very late-breaking request, and so Sarah indicated that maybe you would be willing to fit me in as a non-agenda item, so that's why you don't see me on your paperwork. But I am here today on behalf of the Pitcock family who requested and got approved a minor subdivision plat for a part of their property up on 650 North near Shirley. That's about a quarter mile west of 1200 East. A part of that minor subdivision approval included a 40-foot dedicated half right-of-way along 650 North. And so our request today is for your signature on the plat accepting the right-of-way, the dedicated right-of-way, 40-foot half right-of-way for 650 North.
That was for the young couple, wasn't it?
What's that?
The young couple that come in?
Yes.
Okay. I thought.
Yeah, the Pitcock family owns 40 acres there that they've lived on for years, raised their family there. And now this is one of their children and his family that wants to build a home.
You
So,
want to bring up your document? We'll
Yes.
sign it and we'll accept your right-of-way.
Should we make a motion here? Make a motion to approve the Pitcock 40-foot right-of-way.
Second.
No.
we have 3 copies there, the Mylar copy. Here it is. For the Mylar. 2 paper copies, one Mylar.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded that we accept the 40-foot dedicated half right-of-way for the Pitcock family minor sub as presented by surveyor Phil Going. Okay, yeah. Well, I tell you what, when it's not lined up,
Been
it
moved and
makes you look.
second.
Oh, any discussion?
Oh,
All
there
those
you
in
go.
favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
We're here to help each other here.
I tell you what, we all need help. I feel like I don't know what I'd do without you guys.
Several copies.
Okay.
I'll start backwards here.
Okay. And special.
The special. Maple, did you have something you wanted to bring to the commissioners this morning? Hang on, George. We got a little lady out here that would like to speak.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, my goodness, it's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Is that, what did she say?
She's currently like beheading it.
Oh my
Goodness.
Some help.
Awesome.
We've got some firemen in the audience that could help that.
Yes.
Take it over to the firemen, see if they can help you with that.
Your pen.
That one. Hey, thanks
Thank
for
you,
your
Maple.
patience, Phil. We appreciate it.
She's about as cute as they come.
Yeah. George.
Good morning.
You're not
George,
nearly as
what?
cute as Maple Leaderman.
Not even close. Last week at the budget or the county council meeting, there was a bunch of people in here for their CF1s. There was a few that were not meeting the criteria, but they got voted to showing that they are meeting the criteria. And in my opinion, that hurts taxpayers because you're giving them a tax abatement and they're not meeting the requirements of the CF1s.
What part did they not meet?
Yeah.
Can I speak to?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so the CFI, when to be deemed non-compliant,
Yeah.
the only thing on that makes them non-compliant is that they don't send that in from the time designated that we're supposed to receive it. The council actually had asked my office to kind of dig a little bit deeper, say, hey, is there SB1s where they say how many employees they're going to have, their application, that type of thing. Extra criteria, just so the council is more aware of what they are and aren't doing. The compliance issue is the date that they return it. So they are compliant, but this is just a way that the council can receive additional information for, who is doing kind of what they said and what would the reason be. They just haven't opened their doors yet or whatever it is. So and that's kind of the point that I tried to make at the council meeting, make sure that we're not calling them non-compliant in regard to the time frame that's set by the state. So there's kind of two different issues that Nicole was presenting. Ones that were actually non-compliant that did not meet that time frame, and then the other is just information that the council can go ahead and make some notes to say, hey, we want to check with these people, because before we weren't doing that. And now they're getting that information so that they can make those notes and they can go back and have those conversations with them. But they can't really call them non-compliant and take their abatement away legally, because it's just additional information that we're giving them so that they can have those conversations with those developers. And I don't know if that helps, but it's before they were just compliant or not because of their time frame. Now we're just trying to give the council additional information so that they can open up that dialogue and have those conversations with the developers as to why this is happening and why it isn't. But they can't just deem them non-compliant according to the laws that we've been.
George, usually it's like whether they've leased their building out, whether they've got the employees that they said they would have. And of course, that's a little bit speculative when they first fill it out.
Yeah.
And that's what you heard. They were all here to address that. Well, we have so many employees and their salaries too. So,
Yeah.
but that is, as Deb said, that's not non-compliance. But it's a good check. And so the council is checking on those things.
I wish I could have spoke at the meeting last week, but also the people that were coming up here presenting with this information were making it seem like things are rosier than what they really are. Unemployment records, the estimates that's been coming out for the past since December, they come out with higher, rosier looking, that the employment record is better than what it really is, because the next month they revised what they said in December downward, and they've been doing that ever since December. Last month's was downgraded as far as unemployment figures. You're getting to the point where you can't trust the government giving you information because, like I said, it gets downgraded, and if you don't watch things that I watch, you wouldn't know it. And so I'm just trying to tell the county government to start looking and to live within their means. I have to live within mine. Right now, what they're forecasting for COLA in October is 2.4%, not 3%, not 5%. And people shouldn't get any more than that because I can't keep up. Nobody can. And eventually you're going to run me to the point where I may not be able to pay my taxes on my house. My taxes have gone up. In 2020, I was paying $275 a year on my home. Last year I paid $1,128. In 4 years, it went up that high. Do the math, it's up there. It's more, approximately 40%. Some ways you figured it's 40%. Another way, it's 75% and stuff. People can't keep up with that kind of stuff. And we're growing the county too fast, and that's what's keeping us from, we're bonding every year, except for election years. 2020 didn't have a bond. 24, you didn't have a bond. But you've had a bond 19, 21, 22, you had two, 23, you had one, 24. Now we're doing a 25. And from what was said yesterday or last week on their agenda sheet, it looks like they're going to have a bond up to 28 every year. This bond they're talking about right now is $6.5 million. And that compounds our taxes. I know we make a lot of money on the funds that we got in the bank. We get like almost 5% interest. On several $1 million, that's a lot of money. But it still doesn't lower the taxes. What lowers our tax rate every year is because we increased the population in the county, and it's spread out over all that. And that's why we have a lower tax rate. It's not because we're actually taking money. And it's $300 two-year deal that the governor coming up with is just a scheme. If you don't own a home that's $300,000, you don't get that full $300. You get a percentage of what's underneath there. It's a gimmick and stuff. We need real property tax reform. Our representative's back here, and I've talked to him, but we need real tax relief and not this gimmick stuff. And we need you guys to watch what you're spending and all that. And with the raises and all that kind of stuff. Kind of keep it down because it don't look good right now for the next couple of years and stuff. And I know we got to fund things. You know, the money for the opioids, I don't have no problem with you approving that and getting it used and all. But we need to slow down a little bit. Let the infrastructure, like the Buck Creek Fire Department, they do need a second Cotton firehouse and equipment and men. That costs money. Mm-hmm. We got to have that eventually because we got the items out there in their area. So that's all I'm asking is watch what we do, what we approve and stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miriam or
Leah.
Yes.
Oh,
Leah
Leah has
Letterman.
comment.
I wanted to add something really quick.
Come on up.
Deb, I really appreciate that explanation, and I knew that there was a line down there with the CF1s and all of this, but I guess my question now is, you know, these warehouses have gone through, we're starting to see money from the EDAs, which is fantastic, but I feel like we're entering a new type of no man's land where, you know, it's time to pay up, we're entering the next phase, but they're not. I don't want to use the word compliant, but they're not living up to what the county said they had to do in order for us to give them this opportunity. And I guess I find that insulting to Hancock County, that, who's in charge? Because then if we penalize them, they can up and leave, and then we've got abandoned buildings. That's a threat. So I am just wondering, who's in charge? When a lot of the EDA and abatement process was going through, from my viewpoint, it was sometimes like making it up as you go along. Like, it wasn't always clear, and rules were changing. And so now we're in this next phase, and I'm thinking, well, what rules can be set? And it doesn't seem like it's a big deal if they said 60 employees and they've got 30. Oh, they got 30 employees. That's 50%. That is not good. Because what I heard in the county meetings, well, it's not like they said 1,000 and they only have 30. Like, well, no, if they only have 50%, that's a problem. That's a...
This was from the last council.
Many of them. I see it all the time. And then, this Walmart wants a personal abatement one. And the first time there was a discussion, it was like, no way, this is ridiculous. We're offended that you're even asking. But last week it was like, come on, let's get it going. I don't know what happened there. But, so yeah, that one's coming down the pike because it's attached to some other big mystery project. Instead of making it up as we're going along, and I don't mean that to be insulting to you, but just from our perspective, is what kind of consequences can there be? Because, and then we have, of course, you guys know me, the I-3, that completely failed. What are the consequences there except for taxpayers? So
The council can't, based on the information that they're given from those, they may not take immediate action, whether it's compliant or non-compliant, but they can call the developers back in for explanation, and they I believe, and Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, they can, if they're not meeting what was on the application or their SB1 or confirming resolutions, they can withdraw that abatement. I don't know what their direction is, but I know that that's why they're getting that additional information. They may not be taking immediate action, but I know that they're watching that.
Are they taking action further than, do they have it on their agenda to carry forward and do more research and then maybe make a vote on what's going on with these, or?
I mean, on their long-term goals, I say yes. Immediate agendas, I haven't seen anything immediate, so.
But what happens if they withdraw the abatement?
They have to pay their full amount of taxes.
I mean, I just hope that happens.
And I don't know something else, and I probably shouldn't talk so much, but on when that property was converted from agricultural to commercial, I mean, there's still property tax that is collected.
It's much more. Right, it can sit, an empty building can sit and we still collect more.
Still collecting, not that we want that, I know, but
that's it. Like, it's collecting more property taxes.
Collecting revenue from those
then
But I don't believe I-3 was getting any break abatement-wise until they put a building down.
Yeah, and I don't know that we had.
But they would still have to pay property taxes.
Right, and it's one building versus they had 3, I think, and then we had a little conversation about reverting it back to agriculture as well.
And I don't see a problem with what you're talking about too, which is just clawback. I mean, clawback is what you should be doing to get out there to make sure if these people don't meet their requirement. And that may be, and it would probably involve an additional 1 or 2 staffers to make sure that people were going out there to check that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Annually to get that back.
Yeah. I just worry, like, my thought has been, who's in charge? Who's running the show? Because, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Point well taken.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Point well taken.
I don't know what the consequences will be, but I feel like they've got one over on us because we already have empty buildings. We don't need them to be permanently empty.
Yes.
Unless we put murals on them.
Thank you, Leah. We need to get a little step stool down there for her and me.
I wasn't going to go there. I appreciate your comments. Any other public comment?
I'm in the capacity of the park board, We lost a park board member recently, and I want to find out how to go through the proper steps to replace them. It's
who
for a
appointed
year
them?
term. It was Mike Gibson.
No, who appointed them? The council or the?
No, it's an elected official. So I need to find out, how do I reach out to an elected official to appoint? I did send an email out about it, but I
got it.
just didn't feel like that was, I'm not sure the appropriate
I can
way.
tell you, Miriam.
Okay.
Yeah, just come see me after the meeting.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure because I do have someone in mind and I'd like to make that happen quickly. So, all right, thank you. Thanks, Scott.
Oh, the impact fees?
Yeah.
I think
Do
we
that today?
delayed that. Yeah,
Okay,
delayed
good enough.
that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Kathy Cooper from New Palestine, and I just want to bring to your attention that got problems with the live streaming and also the recordings. Greatly appreciate that we've moved in that direction, but I know 3 people today haven't been able to get on the live stream, and it's really difficult to access even when it works. And some concern about the fact that the recordings are like 2 months out. If you go to look at Nine Star's website, it's April's meetings that you can access. So I know July 1st, I believe, is the deadline by state law.
Well, that they have to be recorded.
Right, right. But I think a 2-month delay in recordings being available is too long. I think an effort should be made to make those available in a more timely manner. And also streamline the live streaming process. You know, I'm not sure what the technical difficulty was today, but sometimes it's kind of difficult to get on. And today, I know, like I said, 3 people were trying to get on, and they finally gave up. They couldn't. And I mean, who is the contact person for that? Do you all know?
Bernie Harris.
Bernie
is
Harris?
our IT director.
Okay.
And I would call our
Okay,
IT
okay.
office and say, we're having issues getting on
Okay.
your webpage.
And then what about Nine Star? I mean, what's their role in this?
You don't have any?
I don't think we use them for our.
Well, that's when you go to get recordings on the government website, it takes you away and takes you to Nine Star, and that's where the recordings are
Should be
archived.
YouTube now, shouldn't it?
Should be all we self.
The recordings, I mean, I know the live
All of
streams on
our-
YouTube, but are the recordings on YouTube as well?
Hold up to a certain point. I mean, we did have Nine Star doing those recordings and then stopped and said we were going to do it all on our own.
Okay.
The county has all of that information, so.
Okay.
You can look into that.
I mean, I know you guys aren't the IT people, I mean, but I just wanted to bring it to your attention, and I'll follow up with Mr. Harris and see what we can do to improve it, because people are really interested, and they want to know what's going on in their government. And, you know, people that are working, you know, they can't even live stream if they're at work. They have to rely on those recordings. So thank you.
Thank
you.
Did we? Mrs. Cooper from
Cooper, New Palestine.
New Palestine. Kathy Cooper.
Thank you.
John, is your person here? Yes, bro. Let's bring you up so we can finish out our regular agenda item.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've invited Schneider here to discuss their fleet management solution. I have Tim Lacey, our sales representative. We have Andrew Harrison, their Vice President of State and Local Government Sales. I will let them.
Thank you. I do have a few handouts, if you don't mind.
Yes, come on. Bring them on.
Thank you.
One item in the handout is the our product brochure that was, I believe, submitted to you previously in an email format, digital format. The other is the sort of an overview of the application itself. And I apologize. I'm Tim Lacey, as John mentioned, so I know we want to get that on recording. So, yeah, appreciate your time today. A few weeks ago, we did an overview presentation with several members from the county, John included. One item we spoke of was the fleet management solution that Schneider Geospatial offers. It's a 100% web-based application. It allows the ability to track and monitor your fleet vehicles throughout the county, not only your highway vehicles, but any vehicle that the county may own. you're able to schedule regularly scheduled maintenance or preventative maintenance with those schedules, so that it'll come up on a schedule that this vehicle's due for maintenance. Of course, with that regularly scheduled maintenance, your overall replacement cost typically will come down, so your vehicles last longer with those scheduled maintenance. The maintenance can be scheduled based on mileage, hours, or it's just simply usage. So we also integrate with different fuel management systems. We haven't gotten to that point in the discussion yet. If the county currently has a fuel management system where you have a card, you swipe, it asks for maybe a driver number and an odometer reading of the vehicle. That can all be integrated, and then the office staff then can monitor that vehicle and then bring that vehicle in for maintenance when necessary. That's sort of the overview. We also have integration with an AVL solution, automated vehicle location applications. We don't provide one ourselves, but we integrate with many of them throughout the United States that the fleet management solution is in. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
What does this kind of program cost? Is there an annual fee with it? Is it
Per vehicle or what?
Yeah, so it's a site license for you. So you can have unlimited number of vehicles within the application. The vehicles are entered by the staff, whoever's maintaining those vehicles typically. So if you have a sort of a database or a spreadsheet of vehicles currently, we can look at that and then import. Typically, we can import that information in, so there's less data entry when you actually initiate the application. You can start off small. If you just want to do like highway vehicles, we can put those in there. If you want to start with, just sort of office vehicles, whether I know the assessor typically has a few vehicles. Commissioners normally have, some vehicles to their disposal, health department and so forth. You can start with those. It's really up to your discretion on how fast you want to move with it, monitoring and scheduling those vehicles or entering those vehicles for scheduling preventative maintenance. The cost associated, just some ballpark numbers. Again, these are, we're just in the early stages of that discussion. But several things we'd like to find out a little bit more on is, do you currently work with an AVL system, a vehicle location system? Do you currently have a fuel management system and some other things? But just sort of a base cost, we're looking at an annual cost of about $15,250 roughly, and then setup costs of just under $23,000.
And you can have multiple users, like the highway department could enter and manage their own, sheriff's department, surveyor, all those different entities could enter their information. Correct. And keep it current.
Correct. Yeah, that's sort of the beauty of a web-based system, is that any number of users can be logged in and utilizing the system at one time.
No auditors' offices. Hard to keep. Does this work well with other counties that I guess that system talks with the auditor's offices for the inventory reports? I mean, would the auditor feed in that inventory report to the system? How does that work? Because we wouldn't want
dual systems.
Yeah. Well, okay. We don't really have a system, okay. So I think it'd be very helpful for auditors across the state. So I guess I'm asking, how well does that work with the reports that the auditors have to generate to the state?
Sure. There is built-in reporting to the system, but we can also build reports for you out of the system through our professional services side. So that reporting can be generated for your purpose. I assume that's a state report, right? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for the State Board of Accounts. Yeah.
Are there other counties in Indiana in your fleet management system?
Yes.
Who are they, and could you get us their information?
Sure.
So we could get
yeah.
And say, hey, what do you think about this?
Sure. Currently, right now, we have one other county under contract that we're implementing. So we're in that early stage of putting them online, and that's Vigo County. And I can certainly provide information for them.
Okay.
The system is widely used out on the East Coast, and I believe we have a few in Iowa that are live on the system as well. But it is widely used. The system started out on the East Coast in the Boston area, New England states, and then we're migrating it over to Indiana and out further west. So
How long has your company been in business?
our company, Schneider itself, has been in business since 1962. The geospatial side, the GIS side, we've been doing business since about 1988, or 86, I think it was. Yeah.
This solution, Simplicity, they purchased that how many years ago?
2 years ago.
So
Yeah.
they acquired a different company that actually has a fleet management solution a couple of years.
Yeah.
Maybe just for the record, have a full background. So Schneider Geospatial provides you. We've gone into kind of 3 different platform levels. So we have a parcel management space, kind of what Hancock County's used us for. We have our permitting, licensing, and then we have our asset management side. Asset management side of the business, a lot of time and effort growth. That's why we did the acquisition, grow and expand that. But it's pretty widely used in the kind of Minnesota area, and up in that Boston area. It's quite a few implementations. So it's a very robust platform. Been in use for a long time, and it's really designed to make it more transparent for you, one, to see, but also for the operator, a lot easier for them to manage. Not a very complex platform.
Does it send out notices to people when the maintenance is needed? Can you set things in there like I want all my vehicles to have oil changes at 5,000 miles, so it can set a notice out to whatever vehicle you've got? It's time for you to go get your maintenance.
Did it say in here,
Yeah.
Bill, that they were sent 3 consecutive notices?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so you can set up the mileage or the hours that you want the maintenance to be performed at, and when it reaches that threshold, then it will alert the necessary, whether it be a driver that's trying to check that vehicle out or a maintenance person there in the shop, that this vehicle needs to go in for maintenance. Likewise, as this preventative maintenance is completed on the vehicles, and I say preventative maintenance, but also repairs, right? That's a lot of upkeep on the vehicles, is the annual or daily repairs to the vehicles. As time progresses and those preventative maintenance and repairs are tracked, it'll start scoring that vehicle and allow you to then do a report annually or semi-annually of vehicles that may be nearing their end of life, so you can start preparing for that capital planning and purchases to replace those vehicles.
And you said again, annual cost was?
15.2, did you say? 15.2?
Yes.
And the setup was 20?
Just under 23, 22,875.
Well,
No, but it's an idea.
Mhm.
I have nothing more. I just, are we looking at other people to provide
so we
this
still
also?
have the enterprise that we can compare, to, and then management company we'd like to go with.
We are currently looking, and it's, so we're,
This was perfect
yes,
timing.
it was.
Yeah. If I could add too, I know John asked a question about, the titles of the vehicles and whether or not we request control of those titles, and we do not, okay? We do not, we're not really in the leasing business of vehicles, so we're just in the maintenance and the repair
But,
tracking.
I mean, you just tell us when the vehicles need to be maintenance. Is that what you're
Based on the
saying?
reporting, yeah, based on the
Okay.
tracking.
So you guys don't do any of that?
We do not do any maintenance.
It's all
Okay.
cloud-based, right?
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what-
We have not yet, no.
That might be a good thing to have, at least a conversation with
Sure.
Sheriff's Department.
Would be great to tie it in all for the auditor, because the auditor gets, has to follow up every year with where are these vehicles? Whether they're in her office or they're in all these other electeds or department heads' offices. And it would make it nice to have a one-stop shop where people could.
Sure.
I'd just like to say I appreciate the partnership that we have with you on other platforms, so thank you.
Do you do any motor vehicle reporting for drivers?
No, we don't do any, like similar, like background type check. No, we don't.
Thank you.
Okay.
And if I could add one more comment. So the fleet management side of the Simplicity Asset Management is one module within that. There's several other modules with, such as, water treatment plants and facility management and park management. Another one is the snow ops that we have as well. And it'll actually help you track and sort of schedule that snow event that may be coming or may be occurring to allow employees or contractors to check in through an app that they're available for that snow event, track their labor cost, and then based on the material that's being used, whether it's salt or brine or what have you, can track that inventory and get a total snow event cost immediately after the snow event has been deemed completed and after every employee or contractor has checked back in as well. So that's just another component that's, Indiana, farther north, is very concerned about snow events. You get farther south, they really don't.
Well, it'll help you to budget probably, years ahead what you may need for salt. And
sure.
So that's a great asset to have.
Well, thank you. We'll definitely look at it and take it under consideration. So,
So much.
Appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
Thanks,
you.
John.
Thank you.
thanks, John.
Lance Schnedeker, do you want to come on up and tell us a bit about Amplify, what's going on at Amplify?
Good morning.
Morning.
Again, good morning. I appreciate you guys all having me here this morning. I know that I'm not on the agenda, so Sarah, I will get this slideshow to you afterward. I was going to do an update on how the project is going for you all. And I'll begin with talking about the site work, okay? We have all our water line is all installed. We have temporary site drainage, which is functioning really well. And that is as a result of this storm outfall, which we're working on the solution. We continue to work toward a solution on that. I think, as Mr. Poole alluded to, we have a solution in hand, and we're aiming toward getting this finalized. It's kind of been a long slog, but we see the light here at the end of the tunnel. Our gas line is currently scheduled to be installed here in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and our sanitary main is almost complete. Now, that sanitary main along 200 is super deep. It's 30 feet deep. So you could literally put a two-story home in the bottom of that excavation and not see the roof above the ground. So that's been a pretty large portion of the site work project, but they are almost done with that, which is great news. Once they get completed with that, then Duke can come out, and there's some power poles along 200 that need to be relocated as well. So we're looking at that, getting that accomplished here very soon as well. When it comes to the building, if you'll recall on my last update, we were putting the precast panels up on a portion of the building. That is all complete, and those precast panels now have all steel bar joists and decking, and roofing is underway on those sections of the building. Concrete slab outside of those sections is all complete. So we have concrete floor in part of the building, and within those precast sections right now, they're getting ready to pour as soon as this week if the rain doesn't cause issues. Structural steel, as you'll see here in some photos I'm going to share with you, is ongoing, and we're looking at having that completed sometime around mid-July. Exterior steel studs have begun as well, so you were going to see that in some photos. That's always exciting to see for me. Before we get into those photos, we'll talk about the budget really the budget, the GMP, the hard construction portion of the project is we're right on budget, okay? We're about 40% build and 40% complete on the project. As far as the schedule goes, we are on schedule. If you look at where we are on the calendar today, we are mid-June of 2025. 1 year from today, we should be seeing the end users, those user groups moving in to begin to occupy and get set up for an August turnover when classes will begin. So we are on schedule, which is great news as well. And it's kind of interesting to think about how quickly this is going on. We just broke ground in October, and as you see, the building has come a long way. So this crane has been on site here for quite some time now, beginning with precast panels, and will continue to be as we work toward finishing up the steel. And if anybody has any questions as I move through, I want to draw your attention to the little diamonds in the concrete slab. Each one of those is a pocket for a steel column, so you can see columns being, you can see how many of those diamonds there are. That just kind of indicates how much structural steel is yet to be installed. There's the columns that go into those diamonds. You see in the background of that one, they're actually hoisting a beam into place. That was from yesterday. So there's still a lot of steel to go up, but it looks great. And this is inside the precast area that I was referring to. This is completely under roof, and it is ready for concrete pour. So we've got plumbing and electrical and all the underground utilities are in place. The stone is compacted. We're ready for concrete. The rain might hinder them because they're worried about rain blowing in from the west, and it's finished concrete product. So if rain blows from those openings on the right, then it might potentially damage the cosmetics of the concrete. So we're going to potentially see a little bit of delay in that. That doesn't mean a delay in schedule. It just means moving parts around to make sure that we have a good product when all is said and done. Okay. I think that is my last note. I got one more slide here. Oh yeah, the steel studs. You can see that the framing has begun. This is on the northeast corner. So this is actually the kind of the Ivy Tech area, looking toward the southwest. So it's exciting to see. And on the left side of that, you'll see that there's some sheetrock there, which means that exterior wall sheathing is right around the corner as well. That is my last slide. Does anybody have any questions?
How long do you think before it all gets under roof? Not completed, but exterior's all finished and
Without
dry inside.
Oh, completely dried in? I'm going to guess, without having the schedule in front of me, toward the end of August.
Okay.
The caveat to that might be because so much of this is curtain wall, so much of the exterior is glass, that I might be off on that. That glass might be pushed further into the fall. I can certainly get back to you, though, Commissioner, on your question. Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. We will see you on the 29th of July for our next update. That'll be the joint session with council. So thank you, guys.
All right, no, thank you for the update.
Great.
Any other public comment? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Wait, do we got to?
Do we have to? Oh, we got to do those.
that,
Okay.
yep.
Well, stand by.
So
You want to come on up?
each one of these are different. What are we actually accepting? That's what I need to know.
Do you know how much right-of-way we're actually accepting then, all the the dimensions to do that? So
Dedicated right-of-way here is 1.004 acres. Okay, at least I've got that, and I'll just make a motion for each one of them.
okay.
Unless you want to do it, Janine.
Go ahead, you got the stuff in front of you.
Okay. Make a motion to accept, have 1.004 acres of dedicated half right-of-way, is that what it is, half right-of-way? On Mohawk Trails, Section 1, secondary plat.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we accept, where did you have that at, Gary? Where did it talk about the half right away? Okay.
Oh, it's
Okay,
total
it's total right away.
Right away.
Okay.
And a half right away.
I'll just put it as the total right of way that we accept then. That covers all of it, whether it's the half right of way or the full at 1.004 acres for Mohawk Trail Section 1 secondary plat as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Okay, just go ahead and give me a second here to find out what this one's gonna, okay. Oh, okay, so that's all part of that. Okay, all right, there we go. All right. Okay.
And this,
It's also,
right, I'm just looking to see if there's any signature page on.
It's on the last page.
It's on the very last. Okay, I'm gonna give you the. And Gary, if you want to sign
Okay.
on this one here.
I'll do that a little bit different next time.
Okay.
Okay. Make a motion to accept the dedicated right-of-way area of 1.012 acres in Mohawk Trails Section 2 secondary plat.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the dedicated right-of-way for Mohawk Trails Section 2 secondary plat. That dedicated right-of-way is 1.012 acres as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes.
Make a motion to accept dedicated right-of-way of 1.934 acres in Mohawk Trails Section 3 secondary plat.
Second.
Second. Oh, sorry, Bill.
That's all right. It's been moved and seconded that we accept 1.934 acres of dedicated right-of-way in Mohawk Trails Section 3 secondary plat as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Okay, I lost your pen here for a second. It's there. There it is. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Go. Take that one.
Oh, I see.
There you go. Here's the rest of that one. And we've already done it. We just got to sign.
Yeah, we just have to sign the.
That to you.
Who did what now? Oh, okay.
Thank thank you for sticking around.
Yes, thank you. Just
Appreciate it.
we've never got them like this before.
Sorry.
No problem.
Oh, that's all right.
No problem.
Go.
Did you get one of them? Okay. That's
So do we need to do this before we end the day for our bond? Is this our
this is
resolution?
just information?
Just information.
Yes, I wanted you guys just to look that over.
Okay.
And I've got to forward it on to Lisa and Craig, but there, the Exhibit A's there for you to kind of scrutinize.
Okay.
And if we need to make any edits.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Super duper. Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adjourn our meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Okay.
We're streaming just fine on the video, but I would like to have a conversation with Bernie because it's gonna be a law and it is technical. I just feel more comfortable that we have IT overseeing this.
I think that we have an IT person in our rooms for all of our meetings, so they ought to make, just like, you know, you are down here for this meeting, an
They
IT
should be
person,
here.
so that when a woman comes in, man comes in and says, we have an issue with, we can direct them right then and there.
So if we have a problem, they can troubleshoot while we can help
Right.
be there for your meeting.
Girls upstairs, Kathy, are able to stream it just fine.
Yeah.
Everyone upstairs is able to stream it just fine.
Where did you live? Because I do know yesterday